How about that one?
That's our new leaders right there.
Big Silly!
University of Montevallo, 24-96. National champions, Wallace State, Briar and Clinton. What's up, everybody? Welcome into this week's episode of the Rapala We Are Collegiate Bass Podcast. Got a fun one on hand here today, talking with Peyton Harris and Dalton Head from the University of Montevallo. They're ranked number one in the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia, and they made a big step towards possibly going for the three-peat, being the first team ever to win the title 3 times with a victory at the MLF College National Championship at Lake Toho. Weigh-in concluded yesterday afternoon. You can hear them there driving there on the road, headed back home. Peyton, real quick, man, it's less than 24 hours removed from winning that major national championship. What's it feel like? Has it sunk in? It's got to be pretty surreal for both of y'all.
It's super surreal, man, and honestly, now it has not sunk in yet. I don't really know what to think about it yet. I'm sure it'll hit me one day, but I'm enjoying the fact of just of knowing that we won it. Just all in all, the hard work that we've put in, and I know that we work just as hard, if not harder, than anybody else out there. So, to see that work finally paid off, and we were able to get a big win like this is it's an amazing feeling.
Dalton, same question, man. This is probably one of the biggest victories that you've had in your young career. Talk about what it feels like for you as well, being a part of this team. Had a great day there on the final day. We'll talk about it in just a minute, but real quick, just give us an idea of what's going through your head and all the feelings about this major victory.
Yeah, and going back to what you said, like, has it sank in? I said this in an interview at the MLF when they interviewed us. I said, if it already sunk in, it didn't mean that much to us. You know, it's going to take time for it to sink in, you know, because it's something we've worked towards a long time, and we finally got a shot. You know, we put ourselves in contention. We gambled, and it made it pay off.
Let's talk a little bit about that game plan as you're hinting at there. We'll switch back to Peyton. Peyton, we'll work backwards a little bit. So day 3, let's start with it. Y'all had over 27 pounds, 11 ounces to be exact. Y'all win the event with 66 pounds and 15 ounces. Watching the weigh-in here at the office in the background as I was doing some other things, there were several bags over 20 pounds yesterday. And as you watch it play out, it was pretty suspenseful, very entertaining weigh-in to be able to take in as one team from way back jumps up and overtakes the leaders, has over 25 pounds, I believe, and then another bag. It just seemed like these big bags kept on coming and kept on coming. Walk us through yesterday. What played out for y'all to bring in the biggest bag for y'all in particular of the event that let you be eventual winners?
Yeah, we knew that we had tried to conserve our fish as best we could. We had a number in mind every day that we were trying to get to, and we knew that we had conserved them best we could, and that we were really eager to get out there yesterday morning and see what could really happen when we put the pedal to the floor and go for it. And it was an amazing day. There were some fish that we shouldn't have caught that we caught, but I mean, I guess they always say when it's your day, you can't do anything wrong, and we really didn't. It was everything we did was right. We made all the perfect decisions, and really fish flawless. Didn't lose any big fish that mattered, and it was a surreal day. It was the best day of fishing that him and I have ever had in a tournament together, and it was amazing.
Dalton, talk about the gamble you were referencing earlier. Did y'all make a long run? Were you throwing big baits and power fishing to catch these big bass? What was it that y'all did that kind of set you apart, made a difference, but there was a risk-reward involved?
Okay, the gamble we made was day 2. We had a fog delay till 10 o'clock, and we were making an over-hour run. Like, there and back was, over an hour and a half of time of fishing that you're losing. So when we showed up to the lock and we saw we were going to be in the next rotation to get through, we just said, we want to win this event. We got to go through that lock. And we spent our 2 hours in there and caught right at 19 pounds, and that's when we knew we really had a shot at this thing.
That's awesome, man. That's part of fishing. You know, you see it for us when we go to Pickwick and Wilson Lake. It's happened at major national events. Sometimes the lock situation doesn't work out. Other times in the fall, we've had at Lake Darnell, the fog delay can impact an event as well. As y'all took the gamble, played the hand that was dealt, and here we are talking to you, getting the victory at the MLF National Championship. Peyton, let's talk a little about how y'all were catching these fish. We've watched the major professional tournament trails out in Florida over the last couple of weeks, some of which were at the fishery you guys were on, and the college circuit in January had several tournaments over in Central Florida as well. So it's a lot of shallow water fishing this time of year, flipping, punching, but also the offshore, finding a little bit of different stuff. These lakes sometimes can just be big sandy bowls, and there's little key areas, and these fish will concentrate in, and so will the tournament field as they go about catching them. Were y'all fishing in the crowd? How were y'all going about catching these fish out there in Florida last week?
The first 2 days we were fishing around a lot of competition, and it came down to downsizing weights on our stuff and sitting way out off these fish. We were fishing a lot of lily pads and Kissimmee grass was our main thing mixed in with each other. If you could find those two that were mixed, it usually ended pretty well for you. And we had some pencil reeds mixed in with that and some arrowheads that we were fishing, but our biggest key, I think, and I think it's what separated us because we didn't see anybody else fishing like this, was staying way out off of these places and casting up to them rather than getting up and just pitching in them. We were staying way out and casting off of them with a super lightweight. We downsized to an 8 ounce on the final day that ended up getting a lot of our bites, but just super light. We're pitching a little stick bait, just like a lot of the other competition was. But I think that downsizing that weight and staying out off of these fish because they were pressured and they knew you were there, so you had to stay out off of them and sit there and make repetitive casts at a lot of these targets to get these fish to bite. So it was patience, and like on day 2, we didn't have much time. It's hard to stay slow and fish that slow, but we needed to get the bites that we needed. We had to, and it ended up working out.
Talking about fishing slow, staying under control, being in the moment, very difficult to do at an event like that. Major national tournament, you know what's on the line as it pertains to a whole variety of different things, from valuable points as it counts towards the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia, which we'll talk about in just a minute, as well as what was on the line there in Florida at the MLF Championship. Dalton, run us through the emotions. How did y'all stay under control, the highs and lows? You know, the first 2 days, you're hanging in there. You're not up at the front leading the whole deal, which Bryan College was for the first 2 days, but hanging tight. And then on that third day, man, were y'all fishing kind of tight? Were you loose, knowing that, heck, what's to lose? You know, we don't do well. The worst we can do is 10th. We go out and accomplish what you do, and the best you can do is win. What were the emotions like, the highs and lows of those 3 days of competition?
Oh man, there was a lot. There was a lot of highs and lows. Like day 2, it was our emotions were on. We were wearing them on our sleeves 100% because we had to fish so slow and we had so little time, but we knew that's how we had to do it. You know, because we weren't going to change the way we fished because the less time we had, we just had to hit more high percentage areas. And then day 3, going into it, we were like, okay, we're going to have to mix in new water today. Like, we're going to have to go hit an area we haven't seen. And we're like, really just fish. Like, we've seen it, we know it looked good, but we didn't know what the potential was there. And the first day of the tournament, we started on a place, and it was one of our best places. And it got muddy by 9 o'clock. And we caught pretty much 4 of the 5 we weighed in up through that area, and it got muddy by 9. So we were like, well, dang, that's one area that we really needed to probably win this event off of. And we pull up there the third day, and it was unreal. There was a shad spawn, and it was still muddy, but there was a huge shad spawn. There was like 35, 40 pounds schooling all around the boat. And, I mean, just 7 and 8 pounders blowing through mats on little shad. And I already took all my tackle out the day before, and I had nothing but my flipping sticks. So I was just going nuts. And we actually caught 5.5 pounder out of them, and we were like, okay, well, we at least got one out of them. And then we went and running new water, caught a 6, caught a 4, finished our limit, and then we went to our main stretch and caught a 9, and that's what did it for us.
We're talking with Peyton Harris and Dalton Head, winners of the MLF College National Championship there at Lake Toho, members of the number 1 ranked team, University of Montevallo, leading the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. Look out next week. We're going to have a video releasing the standings. It's going to be on our YouTube page first, and then we'll get everything added over on the website. So go over to YouTube, find us there, and see that video. We'll get it sent out to an e-blast and over to the anglers, share it across social media, you name it. We'll have the rankings out, like I said, early next week. Peyton, as we talk about the School of the Year race, we've hit on it several times throughout this season as we've talked to anglers from Montevallo, been building up. Back in the standings a little ways, worked your way in the top 10, into the top 5, and now have taken over first place. Going to have a decent lead over the rest of the field as this victory will help, earning 2,000 points for first place. Your next highest finishing team at the MLF Championship was in 10th. 2 top 10 finishes, major college national championship, double points tournament towards the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. How monumental was that for the steps that y'all want to take this season to become the first team to ever win the title 3 times?
It was huge. We didn't do too hot coming out of the first 2 tournaments in Florida this spring back in January. We had some decent finishes, but it wasn't really what we wanted to see coming out. But to come back down to this tournament and have us finishing first and some of our teammates finishing 10th, I think it uplifted this team. It got them back on their feet again. And I don't know. I think we're ready to get rolling this season again. And I really believe that we can do it. We have the talent to do it 100%. It's all the ball's in our court now. We just got to go out there and perform. But this tournament's really going to get that ball rolling to be able to go shoot for this 3rd School of the Year in a row.
Anytime we talk with the team that gets a major victory, I always want to ask them this question. Dalton, I'll ask you now. When you get a major victory, you finish in first place, you're contributing to the team. To be able to contribute to one of the best teams in collegiate bass fishing this season and over the last couple years, and know that you and Peyton's accomplishments there at Toho could play a part in college bass fishing history. How great is it to know that, you've accomplished all this personally, right? Y'all have won the tournament. You have all the accolades that go with it, the notoriety. But, man, from a team perspective, what y'all did here the last couple days could be another chapter in the story that is the legacy of Montevallo and into the history books for collegiate bass fishing. You guys contributed to that. What does that mean to you?
Like you said, we're contributing to the legacy. It feels amazing. Like, being able to contribute on a team that's full of absolute sticks, I mean, it means a lot. I mean, they absolutely smashed them. And to come through and perform, and, I mean, you can just tell our whole team was fired up. They were happy for us, just like we'd be happy for them and stuff. I mean, it means so much to us to be able to contribute to this team and contribute to maybe another championship, another ring, another trophy. I mean, that's what it's all about if you look at it on paper. It's how is this team going to be? Like, are we going to win? And I think we just put ourselves in a really good position all over to make that accomplishment happen.
As we alluded to, Montevallo chasing history. No team in the history of the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia has won the title 3 times, much less 3 times in a row. Several have done it twice, Montevallo included, along with McKendree University, who did it 2 years before Montevallo started their run, and I want to say also the UNA did it back a few years ago as well. Peyton, chasing that history, what does the team need to do? Need to continue to obviously stack good showings, one on top of the other on top of the other. What are y'all going to do over the next, 3 to 4 months until we get to Lake Hartwell, where everything's on the line? That's going to be triple points, and at the end of day 2 there, we will crown the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia for the 22-23 season. What's Montevallo got to do to be at Lake Hartwell at Green Pond Landing holding the trophy for 3 straight years?
I know these boys are hungry, and I know that they're going to put in the work, but that's what we got to do. We got to be willing to outwork everybody. And I know these boys on this team are ready to take on this challenge. And there's a lot of teams up there shooting to take us down, but I feel like we've got one of the best group of anglers in college fishing right now. So I believe that that they're going to put in the work. I know Dalton and I are for sure going to put in the work. We want it bad, and I think that going out there and doing what we do. I mean, we can't let the pressure get to us, I don't think. I think if we start thinking about it too much, we'll fish scared, and that's what we can't do. We just got to go out there and fish loose, just like we have the whole season so far, and I think it'll work out for us.
Man, Dalton, I'm about to sound like your psychologist or psychiatrist or something here in a minute, but I've asked you all of the really big important questions about your emotions and your feelings so far. I have one last one. We get to Lake Hartwell. Let's say that everything goes in y'all's favor. Montevallo pulls it off, and y'all have got that trophy up there celebrating with Coach and all the team to have achieved that history-making moment to win the Best Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia for 3 times. What's it going to feel like? What's going to be running through your brain, for everything from what you've done, what everyone's done? I mean, you look at that's anything monumental in any collegiate sport, like football, basketball, baseball. It starts when you're a kid. It's the passion of the sport you're competing in. To get to these moments, you're overcome with the emotions and the joy that are brought up when you're in this particular position. You've reached the mountaintop. What's it going to be like? What would it feel like? All of the accomplishments, everything rushing over you. Kind of put yourself in those shoes, and how awesome would that be to achieve history?
It'd be awesome. I mean, being a part of one trophy, because we're sophomores this year, but being a part of that 3rd trophy that nobody's gotten in a row, or nobody has got, I mean, it would be like, it's hard to even think about right now, I mean, it's like, it means so much to be a part of that. I mean, that's history right there if we do that. And who knows, if we get a 3rd, we're going to go for a 4th. We're going to go for a 5th one. But if we get that 3rd one, dude, it'd feel amazing. Yeah, I mean, all the hard work we've put into it, all the hard work our team has put into it, I feel like it'd just be great for the team, not just for us, for the team.
That'll wrap up our interview with Peyton Harris and Dalton Head, winners of the MLF College National Championship there at Lake Toho. As we mentioned, keep an eye out on our YouTube page. We'll have a video dropping next week sometime with the updated standings. Find out who's leading, where your team ranks as it pertains to the top 25 for the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. Guys, safe travels as I know you are on the road headed back, man. Make it home safe. Enjoy this, soak it all in, and we hope to see you guys out on our trail here over the course of the next several months.
All right, buddy.
Fishing is all about connecting with nature. Then grabbing nature by the lip and holding it up for a picture.
To fishermen and other liars, the time you spent on the docks, the banks, the boats, the lines you cast, and the hooks you set. These moments you share with the people you love, the fish you never forget, and the tales that get taller with every retelling. Make memories that'll last a lifetime with Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here.